Sorry,
Uh,
who
am I
knows? Okay.
audible, sir? Hello?
Yes, you are
Hello?
audible. Please continue.
Yeah, presently, right now, I'm working as purchase manager in an ready-mix concrete company. So
Mhm.
I don't have experience in software side. So looking forward for this. So
And
I
also
choose
let us
Ariba as my career
also
option.
yeah, let us know why did you choose Ariba? Like what excites you about
Uh,
Ariba? In short.
yeah, basically, as I'm working as a purchase manager from past 4 years,
Mhm.
it is somewhat related to my profession. So I thought Ariba is most suitable for that.
Okay, sounds good. And you are based out of which city?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay, sounds good. Even I was in Hyderabad for 8 years.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Uh, Ajay left. Farooq, can we have a short introduction?
Hello and good morning to everyone. Am I audible, Shubhdas sir?
Yes, you are.
Well, my name is Farooq and I'm from Karachi, Pakistan. And basically, I'm starting to uh, I want to start up with SAP and Ariba excites me because it's a supply chain based system. So I'm interested in that, and that's why I wanted to have a basic concept, and then I'll see where we'll lead. Um, that's all about it.
Sounds good. So do you already have any SAP experience in,
No, no, not
related
at
to this
all.
particular
No,
domain?
no. I'm beginner. I'm
You are
just
a
a
beginner.
beginner, and yes, I'm a beginner, and but I'll I promise you that I'll work hard to
No,
get
it's
all.
not like that. Everybody starts, from the beginning. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
asking. Like,
No, no,
yeah,
no issues. But I'll try my best
yes,
to give a shot
yeah,
at
it is.
learning things as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it will be my responsibility, to groom. Okay, if even if you do not have any prior knowledge, so that will be a challenge for me. So it will be my responsibility, so that you understand everything. Sounds good, Farooq.
Sure, sure.
Okay,
Okay.
Ajay
Thank you.
joined again. Hi, Ajay. Can you hear me?
Hi Shibu, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So,
Hello.
Ajay, can you
So,
start with a quick introduction about you? Where do you
yeah,
work? Any experience?
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So, hi everyone. So, myself Ajay. So, I'm from Hyderabad city. So, currently I'm working in SAP SRM and MM modules. I'm having 4 years of experience in SAP.
Good, Ajay. Good. Rakesh, I see Rakesh also has joined. Rakesh, can you hear me? Okay, Rakesh says Rakesh is traveling. Probably we will take it later. Then maybe we can start, with our agenda and with the sessions. And let me see if it is being, I don't know, maybe Subbu, can you start the recording? Maybe we'll start the session while others also can join. Okay. Okay, hi guys. So again, very good morning to everyone, and welcome to this Ariba demo session prior to the actual training. So now let's start about this Ariba. What is Ariba, and then slowly we can go deeper into the session. And it's going to be a demo session. So guys, please remember this is going to be an introduction. I'll give you history. I'll give you how it relates to SAP system procurement. And also at the end of the session, I can probably take you through how the screen looks like. I can log into the demo system. But hopefully today we will not be doing any transactions. I will not be creating anything as such in the system, right? And also, if you have any questions, you guys can ask. from the points that you can relate to. Okay, so yeah, as you know that SAP has been, has had their quite big portfolio onto this procurement, right? It started with core with 4 modules when SAP started. It also had as a main procurement stream, and then slowly they moved into the business modules like SAP SRM. And SAP SRM was also supplier relationship management, where we could create shopping carts, confirmation, receipt. It had integrations with R3 and ECC systems, you know, and it was all NetWeaver based. And then slowly and when Ariba was also, a separate product at that time, it was an on-premise version, and then in 2012, SAP acquired Ariba, and they, added this to their portfolio. And there was a reason, why they thought of great interest to that. Uh, Sorry, let me share also my screen while I talk. Let me know when you guys can see my screen, okay? Is it visible, guys?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it's visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. So as I was saying that Ariba was already there, it's not even 10 years, it's before 10 to 20 years already old product. In 1996 it was founded, and then they were already doing successful business, with PO creations and commerce commerce and commercial level and everything. And then when Ariba was bought by SAP, they made it as Ariba, an SAP company. Even though still Ariba is a part of SAP, today still they are a separate entity. When somebody joins Ariba, they will be tagged into Ariba company, not SAP. Okay, even if it is an SAP company. So, like, it's basically Ariba is so now Ariba, when was bought by SAP, it was basically an on-premise. I didn't work on on-premise product back then. uh, and later when the world has changed with the cloud things, SAP made everything. SAP has changed all their portfolio, or still they are doing it, to migrate everything to a cloud version of it. So then Ariba also was migrated into cloud version, and today it has been turned into a software as a services, right? SaaS products. There are many things, right? SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. So Ariba is nothing but a SaaS product, which is a complete suite of procurement. Right? Ariba is a complete suite of procurement spend management software, you can say. Rather, I would say application. So, like, Ariba runs on cloud product. It's a subscription-based pay-as-you-use kind of things. You will have your login credentials. The URLs will be defined by the product team, and you can log in, from anywhere in the world. You do not have to maintain any server. You do not have to maintain any upgrade into the system. So, what Ariba does is, if a customer is planning to buy it, they can buy, a demo system, they can buy a production system, and then they get the license, they get the URLs, and every 3 months, in every quarter, there will be releases which will be upgraded to the systems automatically, and it is a global update, right? It happens, and there are many documentations available in Ariba, in their help websites, help portals. You can go through that, you can search through that, you can read the documentations, you can read the cross integration. So everything is available. All those resources are also available today. And yeah, as I said, Ariba is a complete suite of procurement, but it has evolved into many things, right? Nowadays, I'll show you what are the portfolios it has. But as you can see in the screen, just a procurement process it is showing, right? The identify the internal need, evaluate a supplier, interrogate, negotiate in terms of a contract, receive an invoice, release a PO, approval. So all these processes, you can basically do in Ariba. It's just that Ariba was a part of procurement. So now in also you have a procurement, right? The same procurement flow. So procurement will always remain same. Let it be any software in the world, right? Any applications, whether it is Coupa, whether it is Ariba. So the procurement process remains the same, the core process, but there are different USPs, right? Unique selling points, which Ariba also has. So now in Ariba, we have a concept. And guys, if you have any questions, you can stop me in between. That's okay. Okay. And the Ariba has a concept of upstream and downstream. Okay. So this is very important. Whenever you will be dealing with Ariba, you will hear lots of the time, most of the time, upstream, downstream. So what is upstream, downstream? This upstream and downstream, it's a concept of oil and gas industries mostly they use. Upstream in the sense when they get that supplies, kind of like it's a strategic part of that business. Upstream means here you will be getting the things like ready for your upcoming transactions. Here you will not be doing any transactions. It means in upstreams there are a couple of modules for Ariba. It means they will have strategic sourcing. There they will have supplier onboarding, supplier risk, product sourcing, contract management. All these modules are part of upstream modules. You see, basically all these are a strategic development that you do for an organization with their supplier and customer, which creates a long-term relationship, right? Here you are not making any legal documents. You are not making like any legal transactions. You are not consuming any documents. Whereas in downstream, which is nothing but the procurement section, means in downstream you create requisition, purchase order, receipts, invoices, right? All these are part of downstreams. Means here you are consuming whatever you have created a contract or onboarded a supplier in upstream. So upstream is all about your strategic activities, and downstream is all about your spend activities, right? You're creating a PO, you're creating a PO from contracts, you're creating an invoice, receipts, all those goes as an integration to SAP or non-SAP, all this stuff. Okay, so this is a whole Ariba upstream and downstream concept. You will hear this lots of time when you go for an implementation. Okay, now Now, this is a portfolio that Ariba has. When I say portfolio, it means what all it contains, right? What all Ariba has in its portfolio. So, starting with, as it says, it's a cloud platform. So, Ariba is like it's a cloud platform, a SAP cloud platform. Okay. Now, Ariba has like Ariba as a software as a SaaS application product. It comes with the procurements, the spend management application. Definitely, it has an URL. It comes with that. When you log in with the credentials, you end up in a application similar to anything as a Flipkart, Amazon, whatever is that. It looks like similar to that. It also has something called Ariba network. This was the old terminology. I'll explain what is this SAP Ariba network. This has been renamed by SAP. It is not nowadays. It is called SAP Business Network. So what is this network? This is a B2B platform. So guys, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of India Mart. In India, we have a B2B platform called India Mart. B2B platform is nothing but business to business platform, right? We have B2B, B2C. There are many. So B2B is nothing but it's a global network. It's an open network where buyers and sellers are registered and they find the collaboration. They find, suppliers find suitable buyers, buyers invite suitable suppliers, and they do start doing the business amongst them. That is called a business to business platform. So Ariba has the world's largest business to business platform in terms of volume, in terms of transactions. Per year they do trillions of dollars of transactions currently. So this is the world's largest business to business platform so far, which Ariba has. So this has been renamed as SAP Business Network. This is an integral part of Ariba product, right? It means when you create certain transactions, how it works is Ariba is integrated with this SAP Business Networks, and there is no separate integration required. Whenever you purchase a product of Ariba, whenever you're buying Ariba, this network comes with it automatically. So all those transactions, it routes through Ariba network. Okay, whenever you're creating some purchase order, let's say, the purchase order will be sent to this Ariba network, okay, and then it will route. So all those documents, all those statuses, you will be able to see in this Ariba network. Okay. Now this is a part, and now we also have, as I was saying, upstream, downstream, right? Now you can consider like Ariba has the supplier management, which we call as supplier life cycle and performance. It used to be called as SIPN, but nowadays it is called as SLP, Ariba SLP. SLP is nothing but supplier life cycle and performance. It is nothing but an onboarding, supplier onboarding tool, where you create certain invitation letters to the suppliers, supplier, you send an invite to the supplier, they will receive that invite, they will fill up the questionnaires, and they will get registered. So all those suppliers will be registered to Ariba network. I explained, right? Here, buyers will invite suppliers, or suppliers will find buyers, and they will do business. So how they do? This is the platform SLP, where a buying organization, let's say Honda, an organization which manufactures vehicles, and they need to find suitable suppliers for, let's say, they do not manufacture tires, or they do not manufacture, let's say, lights. Then they find the suitable suppliers. They can find hundreds, thousands, whatever they wish. They will, let's say they have identified 100 suppliers, then they will ask those suppliers, hey, you guys can register to my Ariba network and let's do business. They will invite those suppliers, and then suppliers will be filling up the forms, and then they will get registered to this network with the Honda organization. Now these suppliers, whatever suppliers they invited, they can also do business with, let's say, Suzuki. The same set of suppliers, they can also do business with Tata. There is no restriction, right? One supplier can ship goods to multiple buyers. That is how they do business. So this is the supplier management. Okay, as I said, it has SLP and it has supplier risk portfolio, where they assess the risk. It is also integrated with this product. Here they assess the risk, before they do the actual transaction, before they make any contract, so they can assess, if I do with this, what are the risks involved, what are the risks associated with the suppliers. So that is how they are assessing here. So that is the part of supplier risk management. So this one product, this is another product. Now it comes to strategic sourcing. So let's say once you are onboard the suppliers through Ariba SLP, the strategic sourcing helps you to build the long-term relationship, right? Where you find the which suppliers you're gonna identify for a particular product code, right? For a particular commodity. So let's say now you have 200 suppliers in your system, and then out of 200, obviously will not create contract with all 200s, right? You would create a contract, let's say, for frequently purchased item, let's say 10 suppliers. So now you have to find those 10 potential suppliers. So now this strategic sourcing, how it helps is, through this, you invite the suppliers to participate in some proposal, request for information. You can ask for some 10 information. You can also ask for request for proposals, where you ask for some price, right? Those things you can do, auctions. So those things you can do here, and suppliers can answer your questions. And if you find this is my suitable suppliers, you can basically award them. It's an RFX process. I hope you guys are aware of this RFX process. RFX process is nothing but it's an event where you invite a couple of suppliers, okay, and you say, I want to procure 100 quantities of, let's say, engine, as an example. Now, I would award the best possible supplier, which would be giving me the best price in terms of, delivery time, in terms of quantity. That is how you will find supplier and you will award them. Like, this is my suppliers, you will select them. And based on that, you can create a purchase order letter, or you can create a contract. So this is a strategic sourcing, right? In layman terms. Now, once you find the sourced suppliers into your system, you can also create a contract with them, right? Many organizations do. If you know that you would be doing transactions for this supplier for next 5 years, so why not create a contract so that the suppliers cannot violate the term? So contract is a legal document which binds you with certain clauses, right? So Ariba is capable of handling sourcing, contract, and spend analysis. Spend analysis is nothing but the reporting section. Like, you will be managing the spend, how much you have spent for a year for this particular supplier, for this particular commodities, and it will be tracked through the purchase orders. So all these are part of strategic part, is upstream. Okay, upstream, as you said, it is upstream. Now coming to the downstream, what do we have? We have procurement, Ariba buying, nothing but creation of a requisition, purchase orders, guided buying. Guided buying is nothing but a inherited product. It's a product of Ariba buying itself with a separate portal. This is targeted for a functional buyers who are not so knowledgeable. Okay, let's say they are less knowledgeable into the procurement space. They do not want to feel the burden. So it's a easy self-guided buying portal where you create requisitions and where you can create receiving easily. Same functionality. Let's say this is parent, this is child. Okay, this is inheriting most of the properties from the buying. So Ariba buying has a lot more capabilities, but Ariba guided buying is targeted for functional buyers or end users. Okay, in the details trainings, you will be able to see all this. Now, Ariba, this is a product for downstream, as I was saying. It has Ariba buying, which covers uh, buying to receiving. Ariba invoice management is nothing but you can manage your invoices through integration with SAP, non-SAP, everything. Okay. So, and also commerce automation. So, what is commerce automation? Commerce automation is nothing but uh, let's say a client, a customer can buy, okay, as I said, Ariba suite, this spend management application, the whole, like they can all they can only buy upstream, possible. They can only buy downstream, possible, and they can only buy this commerce automation or supply chain. Three segments they can buy. Okay, so one is they can only buy. Let's say they are only interested in upstream applications. They are not bothered about downstream. Let's say they are onboarding the suppliers, they can, and they can do the remaining activities in their core S/4HANA or ECC system. That is also possible. Let's say a customer, they are interested to do only the purchasing activity in Ariba. They will buy only downstream. They are not bothered about the suppliers onboarding. They will have their suppliers from ECC system. And there is another set of customers who does this supply chain collaboration. Now, why this supply chain collaboration? I'll tell you. Uh, So Ariba is basically a software as a services product, but Ariba, as I was explaining, Ariba is for indirect purchasing. It's a purchasing suite, but it handles only the indirect procurement. So guys, do you know what is direct and indirect procurement? How many of you don't know? Just tell me. What is direct procurement? What is indirect? Okay, let me explain. Guys, any questions so far? I can take some questions if you want.
Well, I don't know about these things. You have to
No, no,
explain them to me.
I will explain. But any questions so far? Are you guys able to relate to the process so far? Let me know. Okay. So direct procurement is nothing but for an organization, a direct procurement is nothing but the materials associated with the production of that organization. That is called direct materials. It's nothing but let's say an automotive industry. They will manufacture vehicles. So direct materials will be those materials which are directly related to the manufacturing of those vehicles. That is called direct materials. Example could be tires, example could be engines, example could be hood, example could be engines or engine parts or any vehicle parts. Any material which is required to successfully manufacture, successfully develop that vehicle is called the direct material. Now, what is indirect material? Indirect material is nothing but to 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 run the operation of an organization, to run the daily activity of an organization, those whatever the materials are required, that is called indirect. Example, office furnitures, tables, laptop, chair, right? Any cafeteria items, beverages, services, dresses, all those that you do which are not related to the production of those of the organization, that is called indirect. So whatever you see around you, all those objects can be indirect. Let's say an organization who is manufacturing a vehicle, they will definitely need to have office chairs. They will definitely need to have lights in their room. They will definitely need to have stationary items. They will be doing they will be doing the services. It could be AC services, cleaning services, right? HR services. They will be dealing with legal things. So all these are called indirect materials. Okay. So Ariba mainly handles indirect procurement. So through Ariba, we buy all those indirect items. Okay. But SAP, as I'm saying, core SAP, CC or S4 HANA, core SAP can handle both direct material as well as indirect material. That's a big difference. Okay. So core SAP can handle both direct as well as indirect. Okay. Now, Ariba also introduced a concept that we will also be able to, you know, uh, take part in this direct material things. So how do they do? They do this in terms of supply chain collaboration or commerce automation. Now, commerce automation was introduced before. So commerce automation is nothing but you do not need to buy any of this upstream downstream product. You buy just the Ariba network. Okay, so you buy this commerce automation product, a portfolio, the subscription. It's all our subscriptions. Okay, if you are buying this subscription, then you will be getting this Ariba network and you will be getting this integration with S4HANA DCC system. So the way it works is you create all those purchase orders and requisitions in SAP system, core SAP system, and the SAP system will be integrated with Ariba network. Means whenever you are creating some documents, purchase order, let's say, the purchase order will be sent out from SAP system to this Ariba network directly. There will be no involvement of this Ariba spend management system. So that is called commerce automation. Means you will be transacting Ariba network to S4 HANA system directly. The integration will happen between those systems and you will exchange the documents. So that is called commerce automation. Now this commerce automation was also only for indirect. In commerce automation was also limitation that you could only handle PO and all those stuff. Okay, PO receiving and invoicing for indirect. Later they introduced this supply chain collaboration. Now this is a very hot product in the market currently where all the manufacturing, all the direct material can be handled. So the same process means, let's say this is the superset of commerce automation. You have the same functionality with Ariba commerce automation. Additionally, it has much more. Okay. So Ariba commerce supply chain collaboration is nothing but it can handle the direct material now. Until now, there was no option, but with this, you can directly create a purchase order with the material number inside of it, means direct material, and you can send it over to Ariba network. And from there, you can do order confirmation, you can do ASA, advance ship notice, invoicing. Also, you can do much more, scheduling agreement, you can do subcontracting, you can do forecast collaboration, quality collaboration, many things you can do with supply chain collaboration. So supply chain collaboration is a very USP for Ariba, unique selling point for Ariba. Many customers around the world, they are buying this subscription nowadays. It eases their business, with great UI, with flexible user interface. It's very easy to use. So that is how Ariba is becoming so popular in the world right now, in the world of ERP. Now this talks about upstream and downstream. This is very important to understand. Okay. And you have all this catalog enablement, like you can set up your own cataloging system. Okay, Ariba has its own catalog management system inside of it. You can hold the catalogs and so that the end users will be able to buy from them. Okay, you have end user support, supplier enablement things, everything will be there in Ariba. So I hope you guys have an idea now what Ariba offers. Okay, this is what Ariba offers. Now just take a note that all these you are seeing these subscriptions, these all are integrated internally. Okay, you do not need to integrate SLP with risk. You do not need to integrate sourcing with contract management. These all are a part of the system. Here, everything is internally connected. If you are creating onboarding a supplier in SLP, you will automatically be able to see it when you create a sourcing project, sourcing document. So these all are internally connected. You do not need to see. Okay, the document will flow amongst all these. Okay, let me see if we have the next. Okay, I'm just moving into the next slide. If there are no further questions.
Hi Shibu, I have one question.
Sure.
So are we covering CIG?
Uh, So
cloud integration.
I think the training institute, they will share you the agenda. I also do not have the core agenda of the proper actual trainings. This is just a demo session where I will give you an overview of CIG maybe. CIG, it's that, yeah, I think the date was not updated. Let me see. Yeah, I have it. I will explain you, okay, in a moment. I'll
Okay.
explain you in a
Okay.
moment about the overview, but in details, obviously not. But I will explain you what also CRG and all when I
Okay.
go for the integration deck. Okay, just hold on to that.
Okay.
I was talking about SLP. This is the typical SLP flow, right? It's a supplier onboarding platform, part of upstream, where you have Ariba network. As I said, Ariba network is an integral part of Ariba product. You know, this is the SLP. Let's say this is the Ariba network platform. This is the Ariba spend management part. This is the Ariba SLP subscription part. And then you have CIG and then S4HANA. Now let me give a little bit. You guys are familiar with these two top, these 1, 2, and 3, but not CIG maybe. CIG is nothing but a pass-through gateway. So let's say you have Ariba and then you have S4HANA in between. Right? So you have Ariba system, let's say one side, and you have other side the S4HANA system. So S4HANA system means it's an ERP system where what is this? That is the source of truth of all your master data. You these the customers, they keep their master data in this core ERP system, which can be S4HANA system, which can be other ERP system, right? Microsoft Dynamics or whatever, Oracle, any ERP system they can have, right? So there they will hold all their master data, and from there they will pull all the data to Ariba system, okay? And then they will do the transactions. Now, how do Ariba connect with S4HANA system or SAP system? So Ariba has a native integration. So by default, Ariba has this CIG product. It is nothing called but Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway. This Cloud Integration Gateway also has been renamed by Ariba. It is now Managed Gateway. Okay, it's a very big terminology. Not everybody can remember it now, but CIG is the popular term which has been using for a decade now. So CIG is an integration platform, but you cannot say it's a complete integration platform because CIG, it's a pass through between the documents passes through the CIG. All the CXML documents passes from one Ariba to S4HANA or S4HANA to Ariba. You just need to connect. You just need to connect CIG to Ariba and S4HANA system. But we cannot term it as a complete integrator platform. We have PI system, we have CPI system. Those are called actual integration platforms where you can do many functionalities. You can transform the document types. You can transform certain things. But in Ariba, CIG is limited with limited functionality. You cannot do some logic changes. You cannot convert these to that in between. It's just a pass through. The document passes through CIG. Okay, that's an overview. Now you also know that SAP system mostly deals with IDOC. Okay, the documents, it's a bit technical. SAP system, all those documents in SAP, ECC systems and all those, they deal with IDOC systems. But Ariba do not understand IDOC. They understand CXML. So when you send a document from S4HANA system, a purchase order, let's say, from CIG, but when it comes out and reaches CIG, it maps with the CXML document. So IDOC to CXML, all those standard mappings are available in Ariba CIG. You do not need to map it separately, and then it will be transferred to Ariba network automatically. So as I said, CIG is not a complete integration platform. All those standard mappings from CXML to IDOC and IDOC to CXML are already available. It is already published by the SAP team. You just use it and you just pass through the documents. Okay, you do not need to do any separate mapping for that. So a typical SLP flow, how you do this SLP is nothing but you create a request. It means you are creating a request for a supplier to get onboarded to our platform. A customer is trying to request a supplier. As I said, that's a Honda organization. They are trying to request a supplier. It's a JK Tire or Bridgestones. All these are tire companies. And then those suppliers will be trying to do the registration through the form, and then those suppliers will be qualified. So let's say Honda wants that I want JK Tire to be qualified for my this region, for my North America region, and for certain commodity codes. That is how they will make them qualify. Or let's say JKTR would want to qualify Bridgestone for Europe locations, uh, right? Europe region. So the qualifications they can do, they are basically putting a tag for the suppliers that these suppliers are qualified for these products and these regions. And next part will be preferred suppliers. They can also disqualify the supplier. So this is all a buyer organization can do. Okay, this is not supplier, a buyer organization when who will be implementing the Ariba portfolio uh, into their product, into their system. So this is the typical SLP flow, and then you onboard a supplier successfully, and then you do the transactions. Okay. So how SLPs now you see the integration is that SLP in this platform you onboard the supplier, you request, you register, you qualify. So once you register or qualify the supplier, you send the details to S4 HANA system. From SLP, you send the details via CIG to S4 HANA system, and there a business partner will be created against, let's say you have onboarded a ABCD supplier through request and registration and qualification, and then you are sending those details, supplier name, address, contacts, everything into S4 HANA system. So you are not basically creating any details manually into S4 HANA, but you are sending from SLP, and here a business partner is getting created. Now once the business partner is getting created, that business partner number again is going back to the SLP. Okay, and it will be updated as a ERP vendor ID. That is the end process. And then automatically those suppliers will be registered to Ariba network. So this is a manual process again, like suppliers need to register, the moment they will do this registration, they will be automatically registered to Ariba network. Now, when a supplier is registered in Ariba network, they get a unique identifier ID, right? In SLP, it's a product. If there is a supplier, it will be identified by a ABCD number, certain numbers. In Ariba network also it's a separate platform. Here also they will have a certain number. So it is called Ariba network ID. Each platform normally has its own ID, right? Now when the same supplier will be in S4 HANA, here it will be identified with a certain ABCD number. Same supplier with a different platform with a different ID and different purposes. I hope this was clear how SLP works. Okay. You can track many other things here, okay, 360 profiles, risk profiles, ERP data, many things you can do. It's just an overview what all you can do in SLP system and how it integrates with S4HANA, okay. Now this is the typical uh, integrated architecture. It says that this is the buyer, this is suppliers basically, and this is the Ariba. Ariba has sourcing, SLP, contracting, supply chain, network, all this. Buyers are doing the transactions with the suppliers. Okay, they can have their own ERP. Buyer can have their own ERP. And now, so just also remember this, guys, that CIG does not support with non-SAP system. SAP, see Ariba to SAP native integration. So far, Ariba only can handle with SAP system as a backend ERP. If you have to integrate Ariba with a non-SAP system, suppose Oracle, then you need to take help from a mediator, CPI team or PI. With CIG, Ariba cannot handle the integration with non-SAP system. Okay. So if you have a Oracle system in, let's say, as an ERP system instead of SAP, then you need to bring in CPI. CPI is nothing but cloud. Yeah, CPI and paper, process integration, integration suite. CPI is also nothing but integration suite. Okay, it's a part of SAP portfolio, BGP portfolio. So cloud platform integration. It is called nothing but cloud platform integration. It's an integrated tool. Okay, it has many capabilities. So you need to integrate via mediator connectivity. Next, I will see its summary of S2P, source to pay. As I already explained, S2P is nothing but source to pay. Source means sourcing of supplier to payment of the suppliers. Okay, that is what it is called, a sourcing process. You have RFX, those requesting information to the supplier. Discovery is nothing but finding the suppliers, evaluating those suppliers, and awarding a supplier. This is a typical sourcing process. Then you go to a contract process from the supplier. Once you find a suitable supplier, you do a contract management. Once you do a contract management, you publish a catalog from those contracts. And then you can create a requisitions. You can do budget check, approval, PO, receipt, invoice matching, and payment. This is very, very easy to understand, I hope. And these all are a capability as sort of summary of source to pay framework, as you can see. And this is the network where buying and selling is happening all together between buyers and suppliers. Now this gives a integration representation of how Ariba is related, connecting how the documents are being sent, what are the document versions and everything. This is purely technical, but still it is better to understand so that you understand the in and out, you understand the flow. Okay. So let's say one side you have the buyer ERP systems and another side you have the Ariba, okay, network and Ariba solutions, and in between you have CIG and other things. So the left side you see customer network. Customer means who will be implementing the Ariba solution, right? They can have SAP ERP, they can have S4 HANA system. They can also have SAP S4 HANA cloud as well as on-premise version, right? We have these days cloud and on-premise both. So one side you have ERP on-premise, one side you have ERP cloud. Okay. The downside you see non-SAP systems. It's a future with CIG, but non-SAP system is you can integrate it with integration suite. Now in between you have integration suite, CIG. As I told you, normally you have native integration with CIG is just a pass through. But if you have a mediator connectivity, then you need to bring in integration suite. This is a mapping, messaging, transformation. See, it has all those capabilities. But CIG does not have any transformation. Okay, it just have a mapping repository. Nothing standard mapping is available. Okay, you just pass through. You configure this and you just let the documents pass through each of the applications. But integration suite has much more capabilities. It can handle integration with non-SAP also. So normally, Ariba will be connected to S4HANA system through CIG, but since S4HANA is an on-premise system, there is a cloud connector in between. What it means is nothing but, let's say S4HANA is an on-premise system, you have an S4HANA system with you, but if you're connecting to a cloud application, so Ariba is a cloud application, any incoming transaction, so let's say now Ariba Cloud, from Ariba Cloud, you are trying to send a purchase order to a customer network. Now this you will be creating a purchase order into your own world and you will carry that information, you will be stopped here as a gatekeeper. This cloud connector is called nothing but a gatekeeper to your house. Now at the gatekeeper, there are securities people involved, right? They will ask, hey, what is your identity? You will say, I have a purchase order document, I have to send it to this house, right? Then they will ask for your identification. Simply they cannot let anybody into their own world, right? Now Ariba will need to carry certain information so that this passes it. So what Ariba Cloud Connector is doing is basically it hides the identity, certain identity of the host details, the IP address details of S4HANA system to the outside world. Basically, if something, any incoming transactions, as I said, any incoming transactions, somebody is coming out from out to this SAP S4HANA world, this cloud connector, it masks some identity, it hides some identity so that it does not expose the S4HANA world to the outside world. So there should be some proxy, there should be some limitation, some gatekeeper. So it's cloud connector works as a gatekeeper. But for any outbound, let's say somebody is going out of your house, they do not need, right? They can simply pass out. The securities will never stop them because security knows these guys always live in this house, so we can let them go. Okay, but it is mostly important for some incoming transactions. So that is why this cloud connector. So cloud connector has many more things, but in short, it's a gatekeeper. It works as a reverse proxy for any incoming transactions. Now, don't get confused with this SOAP and all this thing. This is just a protocol in HTTP. It's a protocol. It follows. SOAP is a, it's a part of SOAP call, like web services. Okay. So all these transactions, this callings, it happens through web services. Okay. That is why SOAP web services. Okay. There are many web services that is being called in the backend. Okay. This is for technical side. So don't get perplexed. Okay. So don't get baffled with all these things. This is only for the technical side of it. Here, as I explained already, the non-SAP system integration is the future integration with CIG directly, but so far through integration suite or let's say other integration platform, Dell Boomi, you can integrate your Ariba system with non-SAP system. Okay. And basically you create all the transactions in Ariba, you create a PR, you can send it to S4HANA, you create a PO, you send it to S4HANA, you create a receipt, you send it to S4HANA, you create an invoice, you send it to S4HANA. All those documents, you will get an update back with the document number, with the statuses. And all those information again will be available to Ariba network. Okay. This is everywhere. It's a repository. Here, whatever transactions you are doing, buyers will be able to have a look inside of it. Okay. An administrator account. Guys, any questions on this integration architecture, or so far I can take questions? Okay. Move ahead. So it's again saying the same thing. What is CIG? As I said, CIG, it's an add-on based cloud integration platform, but it's not complete suite of it. It's just passes through the, it lets you pass through the documents. You create some projects and then you connect Ariba to S4HANA or ERP system. All those standard add-ons available. You need to install it in S4HANA system. You need to configure a little bit into this Ariba CIG portal, and then that's it. You can pass your purchase orders, you can get updates, you can pass you can create your suppliers, you can create business partners. All that can happen through standard mappings, right? As I say, so iDocs to web services, all these are standard. We do not need to do anything at all. We just need to install certain add-ons, certifications, authentications. We just create some projects, some screens and systems, and then that's it done. But real transformation, if you are sending A and then converting into it B to target system, those things cannot happen in CIG. There are limitations. Okay. So that is what is the CIG. It's a native integration tool that Ariba has with its product. You do not need to buy it separately. It comes automatically. Okay, and supply chain collaboration is the last, but yeah, meantime I can also give you lesson. Now there are certain differences you might be wondering, right? Though you did not ask, I thought, normally many people they ask these questions. Okay, what is the difference between Ariba and SAP system or S4HANA? So you need to understand that Ariba is a complete suite of procurement. It has a complete capability which relates to the procurement only. It has a strategic part, which is nothing but sourcing, contract, supplier risk, SLP, which is upstream part. Those are also associated with the procurement only, right? Because you are finding suppliers, you're finding the contracts, so that you create certain purchase orders, you create certain contracts, you create certain documents, invoices for them. So it's a complete package of procurement. But whereas SAP or S4HANA, that is a complete supply chain suite, right, guys? Because it is not only procurement. The S4HANA or SAP's ECC system is about many modules. It has production planning, sales, SD, PP, quality. It has many things in it. So there is a huge difference between S4HANA and Ariba system. Now, yeah, that's the main difference as I was saying. Okay. Now, S4HANA system can also be integrated with the Ariba network separately, and that is called as supply chain collaboration. So supply chain collaboration is a hot topic for Ariba. This is mainly for direct material purchasing. It has certain capabilities of its own. This supply chain collaboration is an integration between S4HANA to Ariba network, not Ariba solutions. Supply chain collaboration is an integration between this ECC or S4HANA system through CIG to network. Okay, please note, guys. We will not be logging into Ariba solutions. We will be logging directly Ariba network and S4HANA system. So that is the integration. Buyer and supplier, they are transacting through each other. They are sharing information through each other. It has the capabilities of, let's say purchase order collaboration. Means buyer, they will place a purchase order in SAP system, S4HANA system. The purchase order will be sent out to supplier in Ariba network system. No involvement of Ariba solutions, Ariba applications. Directly it will be sent to supplier. From there, supplier can confirm, confirmation will come. And then in advanced ship notice will come to buyer. Then buyer will create a receiving, supplier will send an invoice. So this is between buyer and supplier to Ariba network. They can also do, let's say, vendor consignment. Vendor consignment is a process, is nothing but you as a buyer keep the items of supplier. This is a real life example of vendor consignment, nothing but a TV showroom, a television showroom, a big television. Bajaj Electronics is a big electronics store in Hyderabad. There they store Sony TV, Samsung TV, Philips TV. They are not owned by the Bajaj Electronics. They are owned by the different manufacturers. So if you are consuming, then that is how your stock is getting changed and you pay. So consumption is vendor consignment is you are keeping the stock of the supplier. The ownership stays with the supplier. So that is can also handle. Scheduling agreement releases sort of a purchase order. Subcontracting is also a different type of transactional documents through SAP. I'm not going in the details of it, but all these are handled in supply chain collaboration module, which is all a direct material related. Okay. So this is a very important portfolio for Ariba nowadays. Okay. Now, these days, with so much innovations, Ariba is also being Ariba is also being integrated with, let's say, vendor invoice management, VIM. Like you can create purchase order, and then receiving in Ariba, and then the purchase the invoices will be sent out from VIM system, and then it will be updated. So many integrations are coming nowadays. As the days goes by, SAP is doing so much of innovations. They are bringing they are bringing the AI tools and everything. So that is how it is going on. So I will try to log into system now and show how it looks in real life. So this is the retest URL I have. Okay. As you see, it can also be tagged with a single sign-on for an organization. It has the capability. I do not need to log in separately. Once I'm logged into company's intranet, I can simply be logged in automatically to Ariba. Now let me just log into Ariba system. Guys, if you have any other questions, you can let me know because we are almost at the end. Okay. So this is the typical Ariba. I have a test realm. Okay, I hear some questions.
Yeah, can you please confirm, will you be providing us manuals, or do we have any access on Ariba test system in our
Actually, I
training?
think that you need to talk to that about to the organizer, to the training organizer. I think they can
Okay.
give you with certain cost or something. This is the because it's, as I said, it's a SaaS product, right? Software as a service. You pay as you use. It's not on premise. I'm just logging into a URL. I can log in into even from US, even from India, anywhere in the world. I can log in this. Okay, with the right credentials. I think you can buy that. Okay, you can buy that
With the
subscription and you can use it.
we can buy the access
Yes, you can buy the
for
access. You need
Ariba.
to talk to, and you can practice
And
yourself.
what about the manuals?
No, manuals, I do not know if training organizations can provide or they are providing it. That you need to talk to the organizer. But you can get all those documents in Google. You have all those forums. It is available these days. But if there are any PDFs or something, if available or not, that you need to talk to the training institute. Okay.
Okay, one more question. Will
Please.
you be giving us basic concept or you'll be helping us in the configuration as well?
Yes, yes. I think the training comes with all those concepts and also the configurations of it. Okay.
Okay,
You will be knowing
and
what all configurations are there in the system.
okay, can we record the videos or
All
the
the sessions will
screens?
be recorded. Everything will be recorded. Currently, this is also being recorded.
No,
So
no.
each
And
and every session.
will you allow us to record? Can I record
I
the
no no. I think you will get the recorded sessions or not. You will get the recorded sessions once you register to this trainings. I think
all right.
that is the case. You get those
And
recorded sessions already.
okay, fine. One more thing. Since I'm from Pakistan, so how can I pay you? Like, what's the procedure
Okay.
of
Please,
the payment?
please talk to the training organizer who
Training
from whom
orders.
you got
Okay,
this.
okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
They will
Thank you,
explain
thank
you
you.
the process.
Sure,
I'm just the
sure.
instructor. Okay. So now I'll
All
just
right,
tell you this
thank
is
you.
the login Ariba system. I logged into Ariba system and this looks like this. It's a test site. Okay. This is the test system. This is the URL for me. And in Ariba, this is where I will have. So there are two places basically, toggle I can do where you can do upstream activity, and then there is another side where you can do downstream activities. So currently I'm into upstream side where I can see supplier management. This is nothing but where you do the SLP, supplier lifecycle and performance. Okay, you can onboard a supplier from here. You can put a supplier request. Once the supplier request is filled up, you can do registration of that supplier and then you can do the qualification. So each of these processes have their sub processes inside of it. Once the supplier is successfully registered or qualification, then you can trigger the supplier for integration to SAP system as a backend, okay, backend ERP system. Then it creates a BP. Also, let's say you have contracts. Here you can just manage your contracts. You can define the contracts. You can create the clauses. You can create the documents. You can do the legal signings and all. Everything can happen. Okay, and then you have the supply risk portfolio also. Okay, so this is the upstream activities where you do all these things. Sourcing. Also, if you have to create a sourcing project from there. Inside of a sourcing you put so much questions, you put informations for supplier, they will, and then you put the email ID of the supplier so that it goes to that from, and then from that email supplier can open and then they will register in the Ariba network. Okay, so that is how a supplier onboarding or sourcing or contract happens. Now this is a toggle switch. It will let me to a screen where I can do the downstream activities. Once the Okay, I will explain you everything in details when we do the actual trainings, how it is there, what are the details of URL, how the system look like. So this is just a demo. I'm just telling you an overview of system. Now, as part of downstream, you can also see, now, so don't worry about all these tabs. It might be, I did, something contract you already saw in upstream, but again, you are able to see it in downstream. There are certain reasons of it. Okay, maybe we cannot would not have the timings to go deeper into that, but you have procurement activity, you have catalog, you have invoicing. All these are part of downstream. Means from here you can create requisitions, purchase orders. From catalog you can take items, you can see items. See, if I click on catalog, it looks something what similar to Amazon or Flipkart. The same way they will hold an item details. You can sort from a supplier, you will find those catalog items here, right? With the screens, you can take it into cart. The same process that you have in Amazon as a typical day. And then you can create an invoicing. And also from here, you can do certain administration activities, which will be part of detailed training. From there, you can also, you know, log in. You can also route to CIG screen and you can monitor your documents. If it has failed somewhere, if there is any failure, all those you can do from this. This is taking you to a CIG screen where you can see certain integration details. Our test system will not be integrated in real time, just that you can see where the configurations happen. Okay, it is limited. There is no integration with the SAP system currently. Okay, this is the integration monitor, CIG monitor. You can do limited of it. You can create a project. You can see the details of it. If any document failures are there, you can monitor all this, okay, from here. So everything is available as part of this training. So the training will help you to get acquainted with Ariba, Ariba portfolios, Ariba products, how master data works, how transactional data works, how the integration works in and out. So it will give you an overview idea, and also I give the if you had you could access the previous recordings, you could see I already explained where the configurations happen, how it happens, how do we do that, and what are the integration points, how do we integrate, what are the challenges, everything I will explain as part of this trainings. So the way I will explain, so that it helps you to do an implementation when you are going for a project. Okay, it is much more than that. So yeah, and if you have guys any question, you let me know. So this is how the Ariba screen looks like. As I said, you have your profile. So there are so many things which needs lots of timings to explain. That's why we have this detailed trainings available for you guys if you're in, so that you can enroll and you can learn the most of it. Okay. Any more questions, guys?
So hi Shubhu, Ajay here.
Ah,
So
yes,
do
please.
you have any customization involved in Ariba? So
No,
similarly, we have
let me tell
some.
you. No, let me tell you. So now, as you know, that it's a cloud product, right? Cloud product has certain limitations. Cloud product you cannot customize as your own, okay, because it's a cloud. You can customize in terms of, let's say, introducing certain fields. Let's say
Okay.
in your requisition form, you want 5 extra fields as per your client. That you can request to Ariba product engineering team. You have to create a service request. They will first evaluate the requirements if it is feasible or not, and based on that, they will give you a response. Okay, this is possible. Share your requirements in this Excel format. You have to give their details. They can also imply certain logics, but up to certain limitation. They do not entertain much complexity. They do not entertain logic changes to a field. They will just do a basic, introduction of some fields, 2 3 fields, or certain small logic, if else, plus minus conditions. Very limited. You cannot change a whole logic. You cannot do what you can do in on-premise versions. You cannot do any of that. But every quarter they releases based on the customer requirements globally, and so much of functionalities we have, so much of uh, difficulties they already identified, and they made the life easier. Every quarter they releases the different version. They releases different features. So that will be enabled automatically.
Got it. So in going forward in training, can you show the CIG config?
See, I don't know I think as part of this trainings, the CIG configs and all are not part of it. So you need to understand this from the training institute, what all are there and what all are not. Okay. Every time they give you a training, they will give you a configuration details, configuration details, the technical consultant, because all that you are doing here is a part of functional consultant, right? Normally technical consultant will be able to handle that, but as I said, there is no harm in learning. So if that is a part of the training or agenda, you just need to understand from the training institute team if they are offering that. And as I said, if time permits, maybe I will be able to touch upon that, because I have a lot to cover, right? If this takes time, there are so many things to cover, detail level transaction details, the configuration, the master data, everything I have to explain, right? So yeah, it all depends if I have time or if it is allowed. So by the training institute, you can always talk to them, no problem.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I will talk to. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, guys, then I'll just, you can see, right? I see all those are just requisitions. PR is referring to requisition, workspace. So all this you can see in my documents. Here you can take actions, recently view sections, common actions, create requisition, sourcing project, invoice, credit memo. These are all common action. Here you have this reports kind of, all those. You can search the document. So this is your typical dashboard. Okay. This is how Ariba looks like. So as I said again, this is not integrated. It's just a standalone inside it. We do not have the integration version of it. It's just a standard. Okay. Okay, guys. Hope this gives you a better understanding of the product, and I hope to see you guys in the trainings whenever it is scheduled. Let me stop sharing, and yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask Subbu, the training organizer. Okay, and see you soon, maybe.
Thank you, Shibu.
Thank you, everyone. Subbu, you can stop the recording. I think we are done. Maybe we can close.